a few videos ago, I made a comment about baking and I got quite a few comments asking, what is it? How do you do it? Why do you do it? And I thought, all right, I am clearly no makeup pro, but this topic sort of intrigues me because I've never actually tried baking and I thought, let's make a video about it. So, to start, before I get into what it is and all that, all I have on, I don't know why I feel like I have to say I am fully clothed. All I have on other than my clothing, I mean in the terms of makeup, is and I will list the specific products. So open up that show more part. I have my moisturizer. It is key to be very, very moisturized for this. We're working with powders in a moment, but moisturizer, eye cream, foundation, instant eye lift, a little touch of concealer right here. Didn't get a lot of sleep. We had a huge thunderstorm last night. Dogs are not fans of thunderstorms. And I did my brows. That's it. So, what is baking? Baking, from what I can understand, is not a new concept. It's just been dragged into popularity about 4 years ago is when it really started to peak with Kim Kardashian's makeup artist using the concept of baking to really chisel her face with the contours and the highlighting. Drag queens, from what I understand, kind of pioneered this concept or really brought it to the forefront where you take heavy, well, not heavy, but you take loose powder, translucent loose powder, and you coat your face heavily with layers of it in areas that you want to brighten, that you want to contour. The concept of baking is that you leave it on top of your face for you don't have to leave it for very long to have it start to work, but ideally 5 to 10 minutes where it sort of bakes with the temperature of your face and melts the powder, melds is a better word, not melts, but melds the powder with your foundation and liquid products to almost form like a matte, poreless, even-toned finish onto your face. So clearly, if drag queens are using this, probably not an everyday makeup look. Now we see people all over YouTube, I'm not shaming them, but they show this like in their everyday makeup routine and it looks amazing on camera and I'm always fascinated by it. But I'm not entirely sure how this translates into normal everyday wear, and the people that I see doing it are not anywhere near my age. I'm 46 and I'm not heavily wrinkled, but I do have normal wear and tear. The Botox is worn off. So, I have some wrinkles here. I have more in the crow's feet area, a little bit here, definitely here and here. While the youngsters might like to try baking to even out the pores and make it look like they have almost like literally porcelain, poreless, perfect skin, I'm thinking it might not be a bad way to almost fill in some of these lines. We shall see. Now, I have heard it doesn't translate very well onto dry skin. It's not really recommended for older skin. I have both of those, so I thought I would be the guinea pig, take one for the team, if you will, and give it a go. I'm not going anywhere particularly important today. I've done some research. You can do baking in a lot of ways, but for this particular way in which I'm just kind of trying to set my foundation and concealer, I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I'm going to do the baking part now. Some people do it in multiple steps. First to set, then again to kind of chisel out where the bronzer is. The primary focus here is to set and perfect the initial skin. So for this, I have my trusty Coty Airspun Loose Powder. This is sort of a cult favorite for this particular process. And I'm going to do it in 2 places, under my eyes and pretty much right here, because I really this is where my foundation tends to fade right away. And I'm also gonna really pack it on to where my smile lines and marionette lines are and hopefully bake those away. I have really loaded up the cap here. We'll see, I could use more. It looks like the idea is to use a beauty sponge. This is an EcoTools one, which I really like because it has a very flat surface here. So I can really pack it in and kind of cut out those cheekbones. And then the smaller one, I can get it in here. So let's start with the under eyes first. This is almost dry, not quite. I'm really loading it up. And I'm not going really close to the eye. I'm going kind of in this inner corner here where I want to brighten and where most of the wrinkles are. I'm staying away from the crow's feet. I'm gonna do the other eye, hang on. Cannot take myself seriously right now. Okay, I'm also gonna I dip the tip of it in and I'm gonna smush it into these smile lines and clearly into my nostrils. This is a good look. Could you imagine if UPS showed up right now? I would have so much explaining to do. I can't. And we're gonna do these lines under here. I look like I have a substance abuse problem. I just could not let that go. Okay. So in there, I'm avoiding the actual chin though, because I get a lot of dry patches there. Well, since I have lots of lines in my forehead, let's bake those suckers too. Okay, you're probably not supposed to move your mouth, your face, so I'm trying not to do that. I'm just now gonna pack it on the sides. This is not so much for lines, but for just longevity of makeup and perfect skin. I'm just gonna follow the cheekbone. All the articles and videos I've watched say 5 to 10 minutes for optimal baking. So while this is going on, I'm gonna go do my eye makeup. I just cannot look in the monitor right now. This is ridiculous. And I will pop back in and we will take this off. If you're interested in this eye look, please let me know. It is basically my go-to summer eye. Not even summer, but particularly in the summer. Anyway, Michael happened to walk by as I was sitting down. He goes, "What is on your face?" Okay, so I actually have this brush from Sigma and it is called the Power Sweep. So let's just start getting rid of, I'm just flicking down because I wear contacts. We did it. Okay, you know what? Let's just get it all off and then we'll make editorial comments. Yeah, obviously if you're a contact wearer, be careful. And you know what? No. Let's get a bigger brush for the larger areas or we'll be here all day. Okay. It's clinging to a dry patch right there. Like it is literally whiter. I don't know if that's coming up on camera, but is it, sorry, bad finger. Whiter than everywhere else. Okay. So let me look at myself. Close. Don't know that I look any more poreless or perfect than I normally do just wearing foundation. You notice a little fine line action here, but it seems to have gone away. So maybe that's a good thing. Let me finish with the rest of my face, bronzer, highlighter, all that good stuff. And then we shall get on with our day. Oh, one thing that's kind of important. I'm gonna do a 2-step process with this one. Definitely need some setting spray or even just, in this case, the MAC Prep and Prime, the Fix Plus, just so that there's no powderiness left to the face. So I'm gonna do a 2-step. I don't have the fancy fan. I'm just gonna have to. So first I'm gonna do a layer of the Studio Fix Plus, and then I'm going with All Nighter instead of my flower setting spray because the flower setting spray is matte, and I feel like we have enough matte with all this powder, so. Okay, now the next layer. Okay, this has nothing to do with the look, but just a little lip gloss too. Okay, so we are done. I am done. And I'm gonna go about my day, run some errands, do some computer work, get out in the hot sun. Not really, but I'll be outside, avoiding the hot sun. And I'll let you know what this looks like after some wear and tear. Be back in a jiff. Sorry there were no check-ins, but it is almost 9 o'clock at night. I've had my makeup on for about 10 and a half hours. So from this distance from the camera, I'm looking at the monitor. I'd say my makeup looks pretty good. I just finished dinner. I had a really nice meal of gluten-free chicken pot stickers and egg rolls. But, and they were, the greasy sauce. And then my nose started running. So ignore, I'm going to get in close. Ignore right here because that's where I was like wiping my nose and rubbing. So that's not fair. So what I've noticed is that from a distance, everything looks great. Close up, It definitely is not just sitting in my lines, but collecting like snowdrifts in all the fine lines here, particularly around my nose. What am I doing? Around my nose, in here, and in these lines here and here. So I would say baking does not work as far as on drier / older skin on the line areas and in the, I don't know if you can see there as well. But what was interesting to note is usually the foundation wears off here and here, and it looks perfect, except you remember I did not bake on my chin, and that is all worn off. So final thoughts on baking for 40 plus skin, possibly just dry skin, I'm not sure which. I think it works great for setting your foundation on areas where it's going to wear off, but definitely avoid any areas that are prone to creasing or have lines. So everywhere else that I baked. So now I would like to hear from you. If you are around my age and you have oily skin, I'd like to know if you try baking and does it work for you. If you're younger than me, I'd love to hear from you. If you're older than me, I'd love to hear from your experiences as well. So please make sure you comment below. I'd love to hear how everyone else has done with this baking. If you've never tried it before, now are you more likely to try it, or you're still like, nope, haven't missed anything, gonna keep on going with how I do things. So anyway, let me know if you would like me to try any other makeup techniques or makeup fads and see how they wear on 40 plus dry skin, and I will be happy to give it a run. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.